All right, we live, people. How's it going? Let's see. Let's see if this thing catches up. Let me mute that. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Can't say we live at 5. We live at 7. Just a couple minutes after.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day.
We're going to just chill out, hang out, talk, and do our usual thing today. And I'm pulling a puller. I'm going to eat me some popcorn while we're talking.
Hey, it's all good.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing, Johnny? Walking around like you in a daze. You lost or something. What's going on, Doug? Hey, Peeper. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit for people to drag in here, but it'll be all right. So how's your day been, Puller?
Awesome. Like I said, I am officially on my 3-day weekend vacation.
Oh, heck yeah.
I got the Kerber mounted up and everything all last night. Got the fuel lines all ran tonight. I am ready to set fire to that sucker.
In a good way, I hope. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah.
Hey, Cedric.
Man, check out them tater lights.
Is it getting them done? I had to pop me a little bit of popcorn. I got the munchies. So what's everybody's agenda for this weekend?
I'm opening my pool.
Not converting videos by the weekend. Those will finish it up before then.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm hoping if the rain will hold off long enough to get out there and work on my form some more this weekend.
You get a country guy here?
No, but a buddy of mine thinks he knows somebody that can do it for a better price. So I'm waiting to find out his price.
Whatever gets the concrete on the ground, that's the main thing.
Oh, yeah. Finally found you a hood, Doug. That's good. Now you just got to get it painted to match and hook your put it on there and hook your other lights and all up. Oh, the rain finally stopped for y'all, Cedric? That's good. It tried to rain here a while ago for a little bit.
I got a video coming just for Cedric.
What you say,
time on the mower.
Mm-hmm. What you up to, horse? Hey, Captain.
Hi, Captain.
Hey, Mudster. Mudster, I'm going 4-inch thick slab with 6-inch footer thing around the sides. What you say, Matt?
Hi, Matt.
Hello, Matt. Hello, peepers. Hope you guys are having a good day.
Yeah, hopefully Saturday morning they're doing a poker run for my friend who passed away for his mom to pay for the funeral expenses with. Try to raise more money. They've had several different fundraisers trying to get up enough, so they got a poker run that's supposed to start Saturday morning. I'm going to carry the fat cycle up there to my brother's tattoo shop where it leaves from. I'm going to try to get some video of a bunch of the bikes and stuff like that Saturday morning.
Heck yeah, that'll be awesome.
You gonna take the fat cycle out?
I'm going to carry it up there and show it off.
Well, that's what I meant.
Might actually ride it around a little bit up there. Hopefully the cops won't say too much to me.
They shouldn't.
I'm gonna mount the action cam on the city streets a little bit.
Heck, while it's sitting there, I'd put a little bucket or something out and see if you can get some extra donations.
Might do something like that.
You know, can't hurt.
Mm-mm. Popcorn's pretty good. Could use a little bit more butter though. It ain't got hardly none on it. That's the only bad thing. I should have got the one that was movie theater butter popcorn. It's just regular popcorn with just light butter on it. But I figured a little bit of video of all them bikes and all ought to be pretty cool.
I need some of that, Jay.
What's that? Oh, the stuff you sprinkle on it?
Uh-huh.
Where you get that at?
Walmart.
Might have to look into that. Tastes pretty good?
Oh, yeah. I had some, and then at the parts store where I get this popcorn at, they had this, they had ranch, cheddar, something else. And nobody liked it. They're like, "You want this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it. Why not?"
What's going on, Tater? You saying something in chat? I'm ready to see him finish them lights. That place is going to be lit up like daylight in there. You can already see a difference in what he's got hooked up. That place is going to be so daggone bright, you're going to have to wear shades to walk around in there.
Got to put suntan lotion on.
Pretty much. What you say, Alexander?
All right. I think I might have to take my laptop in to be looked at.
Why? Still acting up?
Yep. It'll just randomly close either, like if I have, like now I have pop-up chat on.
Yeah.
And a hangout. It'll just randomly shut one of them off.
That's not good.
No. But it's only on Chrome.
Doing pretty good there, Alex.
You might be having a mouse driver issue or something, Ed.
Or a video driver.
Yeah, but it'll do it like if I'm just watching YouTube videos or just on the web on Chrome.
Yeah.
It'll just randomly say cannot reload page. Or cannot load page. You hit reload, it comes right back.
That sounds like a video driver.
But Now if I'm on Firefox or Foxfire, doesn't do it. I can be on there all day long.
When was the last time you did a Google Chrome update?
Monday night. I actually uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and checked for updates.
Oh. I had to fix me a pot of coffee. I ain't had coffee in a little bit.
Me neither. There, I just fixed that.
Alexander said, what happened a few nights ago? Did Hangouts break down on you? I hear you, Captain. Well, Tater, is it working for you now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. Ed, Johnny had a question he thinks you might can answer for him.
Okay.
I got a 4-inch in
I'm
the.
closer.
I think
On his John Deere, he wants to go a little bit faster.
Okay.
I got 4-inch, 4.5-inch pulley in the front. Don't know about the rear.
4.5-inch pulley in the front, and he's not sure about the rear. Which would be easier to change, the rear?
Well, depends on what transmission's in there.
You know what transmission it is, right?
Yes, I have it.
He knows what he figured out what kind of transmission it is. Hold on a second. He can do 15 now,
Yeah, I can do 15 now.
but it's pegged out. That's not good for it.
Yeah, that's okay. 15.
If he's got like a 6-inch on the back and a 4.5 on the front, if you can go to a 5.5 on the back, that would speed it up. If I'm thinking correctly.
The question is, does he want to go faster or does he want faster response?
He wants to go to
He want
fast
more
top speed.
or does he want a better throttle response?
He wants a faster top speed.
I'd take that 4.5 off and put a 6 on the front.
That'll go on there.
Yeah, that'll overdrive it. Yeah.
It's a GT242.
Well, I kind of really need to know what size pulley's on the back.
Right.
If it's one of them big 10-inchers or something like that, you can do like Jay said and go from a 4.5 to like a 6 on the front. Because the closer you get to 1-to-1, the faster you'll go. But then you'll start losing bottom end torque.
He's got tons of bottom end torque. It lifts the front end off the ground.
Yeah, and plus, if I get on, I'm digging dirt.
Oh yeah, it peels the wheels and everything.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you got a lot of torque on it.
Yeah, he's got plenty of torque.
Oh yeah.
But I'd definitely get a bigger one for the front and see what that back one is.
Yeah,
Hold on,
probably about as big as probably an 8.
I guarantee
That
it's got
wouldn't
at
go
least an
any
8-inch on that back.
I wouldn't go any smaller than a 4 on the back.
Mm-mm. Hey, Captain.
Hey guys,
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
I wanted to finish up my dinner. It was kind of uncooperative, so I'm like, I'm not going to be fumbling with trying to get food in my mouth and looking like I'm like 3 years old. It was bad. Anyway,
Hey, Justin, kill the cat before you eat it.
Hey, Tater,
Oh,
did you see what Mudster said?
I missed it.
Mudster said he's running a 7-inch on the motor and a 4-inch on the rear, and he's doing close 40 miles an hour.
I don't know if Johnny's mom would allow him to go that fast on that thing. She'll whoop his ass. Doug says put a 4 or 5 on the back.
Well, it also depends on how hard it is to get to that back one to change it.
Yeah.
For testing purposes, you can upsize that front one fairly easy.
Mudster, I appreciate that.
Looks like 5.5. I'm not sure.
I don't.
I gotta take the back off. Transmission off.
A friend of mine is about to have a baby
back.
tomorrow.
Said he's got a 5.5 on the back.
Yeah.
Go sis in the front.
If you got a 5.5 on the back and you got what size on the front now? 4.5?
Yeah, 4.5.
I'd put a 6 on the front and see if you can get that 4.5 on the back. See what that does.
Only problem about the back is I can't get the center off. It's not like steel, like aluminum.
Is it pressed on or is it the bolt on pulley?
Oh, let me look again.
Yeah, that's true, Matt.
Yeah.
Take that grease out and just put gear oil in it.
Yeah. Does that make it that much faster?
Changing them pulleys out, speed it up, but that grease won't handle the increased speed to keep it cool. You'll burn up the gears and all. Put the gear oil in there to hold up better.
You need to change the gear oil in that thing anyway.
Yeah.
Is it a press pulley or is it bolted on?
Well, I can take the.
Let me see the picture again on that one.
What's it got, a center bolt to hold the pulley on?
No, pin. I built the pin.
Got an E-clip.
Okay. What's going on, Breezy?
There's a picture of one for sale online.
It's probably got a keyway in it too, don't it?
I think it's actually
Like a
it's got the
spine.
splines on it.
Oh, it's splined?
It might be. What the heck is that? It might be hard to find one of those then.
Maybe not.
Oh, it's Captain. That's why.
No, it's not me. I'm just
No,
letting
wasn't you?
you because I heard a rubber ducky.
I definitely heard a rubber
I
ducky.
think that was Puller.
No, it wasn't me.
That wasn't your phone?
I'd never have my phone on sitting beside my computer on live stream.
That isn't me. I'll tell you that. I don't have no rubber ducky.
I always got my phone right here close at hand, but it wasn't me because mine don't do the rubber ducky. I don't have that.
I would never, ever have a rubber ducky sound on my phone for my text messages.
Hey, Jimmy C.
One of the songs on my old phone used to be "My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard." You talk about money. You're standing at the gas station line with about 10 people around you, and somebody calls you.
Yeah.
I got some pretty funny lyrics.
They probably like, what is wrong with this boy here?
Exactly.
Well, anyway,
That's exactly what it was.
a little aside from all of that, I have an announcement to make. None of you know this person, but my friend Christy will be a mom by lunchtime tomorrow.
Cool. Congrats.
She didn't know she was pregnant until about a month ago.
Holy cannoli! Congrats to her.
That's a shock. Be like, by the way, you're pregnant and the baby will be here in a month.
It didn't even take him. It barely took like like a week though.
Dang.
Yeah.
What's your name, Justin?
Yeah.
Justin Beck's in the house.
It's something like that. It either took like a week or a month or something like that, but it's like, no, you didn't have the time you thought you did. So, you know,
Wow.
go buy a crib now.
That's a heck of a surprise. Go to the hospital. Oh, I don't feel good. They test you. By the way, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
She was in
What'd you say, Kane?
a little bit of shock.
I bet.
It's not like
What's you say, Sam?
It's not shocking to me, but it's still like, oh wow, okay, yeah. All right. Hey Sam, how you doing?
Hey,
yeah.
Tater.
Yeah.
It's getting a little lit up over there now.
It's looking good, ain't it?
No, Alexander.
You're gonna need sunglasses if you get all 6 of them up.
I only got one left.
It's pretty bright
You
there,
better
that's
get some
for sure.
UV.
Alexander, it's not my baby.
Better wear some sunscreen, Nader.
That's not.
Maybe that's why I was sweating so bad.
Captain said he ain't the daddy. He's just a close friend of him.
It's not Crystal, which is sitting right there. It's Christy, which is in like a couple of towns over. Anyway.
Well, like I keep telling people, I'm pregnant with triplets, but I can't get the things to come out, and I'm just going to stay swollen for a long time.
Yes, Justin Beck, nice to see you in here. Thanks for coming in. Reezy, how you doing? Kane Sample, how you doing?
Oh, man.
Rizzy.
Hi, Sam. Good seeing you.
Crazy.
Hi, Kane.
Hey, Tater,
Justin.
did you get that plate straightened back out, or have you not messed with it yet?
What happened?
That metal plate for your oil pump, have you flattened it back out yet, or is it still need work?
I ain't messing with it yet. That's gonna be tomorrow, Saturday.
I got an idea if you can't get it straight. I got an idea on how to fix that.
How?
I got a piece of 3/8 thick aluminum plate. I can cut out the shape and all and drill the holes for you to make a new one out of aluminum that'll go flat up against it.
I can fix it. It ain't gonna be a problem.
Or we cut a piece of a 1/8 inch plate metal.
That thing will be running this weekend. Holton Oil, promise.
I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I think the exhaust needs to be a little bit bigger. I think that little pipe might be choking it just a touch.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
That little exhaust pipe you got on it might be choking it down just a bit.
I believe it, yeah. I think so too. I threw that on real quick just to have something.
How big around was that port, the exhaust port on the back of that where that manifold was at?
I want to say like 1 inch, maybe 1.25 inches.
That small?
Yeah,
I thought it was a little bit bigger than that. It looked like about 1.5 inches.
it might be.
Sam, use talk to text. Use the talk to text feature. You seem to be typing okay, but if you're having trouble typing,
that don't work with me. That talk to text, I tried that, and it was putting words up that I wasn't even saying.
Oh, Tia.
You need to get the southern version of talk to text.
Tonight.
Yeah, I know. It don't speak southern slang, huh?
No,
What's Tia?
I suppose it doesn't speak Connecticut either. It don't speak Yankee. Oh, go figure, because it doesn't work for me all the time either.
YouTube killing you there, Jimmy C? What's it doing to you?
It's not letting him go live.
Oh, ouch.
Well, you would have had a dozen by now, right? Come on now. How long has it been since you've seen Jimmy C go live? What other problem could he be having right now?
I think YouTube messed up when they made it where you had to have at least 1,000 subs to live stream from your phone.
Yeah, I agree. They to screw up. YouTube does best. They screw up.
Yeah, get something where it's working pretty good, then they go and change everything. Oh man,
Jimmy, sign out and sign back in.
that's crazy.
Johnny.
And check around and see if anybody's hacking your account. All right.
Yeah,
Make sure nobody's put your fucking passwords.
that is true, Mudster. All good things do come to an end, unfortunately.
Good.
I can probably catch up to you guys.
But
I know this.
every time I see Nate's golf cart build, it starts getting me revved up to start working on my build I'm wanting to do.
Feel like they let go faster when me and you was on.
But I think I'm gonna make mine. I don't know if I want to make mine a dual seater or a single seater. I ain't decided yet.
Jay, which project? You got a couple.
Well, yeah, I got the Franken Buggy project. I got the golf cart project, and then I'm wanting to build another. It's not going to be a fat cycle, but it's going to be the 2-wheel Persuasion. It's going to be just a little bit smaller and a little bit wider on the back end.
Like a bobber?
Sounds like a drag bike to me.
Very well could be.
I just got 75% on my conversion file. Woohoo!
Cool.
Woo-hoo!
Do y'all remember that movie? It was a comedy. It was about a group of bikers. There was basically nothing but misfits and all. And at the very beginning, there was a guy called Gypsy that built a drag bike with a metal seat and all on it, and he ends up wrecking it. And the whole movie is them just trying to get him back to where his family lived so he can be buried in his family cemetery and all. And they're all creaky and beat up and banged up, and it's hilarious and all. And they think they're hardcore bikers, and they're basically just jokes and all. But I cannot remember the name of that movie. But it was hilarious. I'm wanting to build a mini bike, drag bike deal that you have to lay down on. You don't sit on it. You lay down on it, and your foot pegs is by the back tire. Basically, you're going to stick your toes in it's going to have an L-shaped plate to where you put your feet on the back, and your toes hit it so it don't go down to the ground. And you ride it that way, laying down on it, instead of sitting on it. It's going to be different. But it's about like the nitro drag bikes where you lay down on it and the handlebars is up by your face. That's what I'm wanting to build. I just ain't quite got everything together for that one yet. Not really like the bat cycle, no. It's hang on a sec. See if I can find. See if I can find something similar. What is that one? Nope, that ain't. That's... Trying to find a picture, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
But
Look up NHRA Nitro bike.
that's what I just looked up, but I'm trying to find one kind of like what I had pictured in my mind.
Don't build the Harley version because they got their asses whooped last weekend.
There's a certain style I was looking for. All right, let's see.
Yep.
No, that ain't it. I thought that.
I wasn't much into the nitro bikes until this year. Started seeing that like 3/4 of the drivers are women, and they're hot.
All right, let's see.
Hi, Sam. If I miss anybody's comment in chat, it's probably because it shut down and I'm rebooting it.
I got a boot for you.
I don't even have chat up tonight, unfortunately. I'm trying to edit some video footage from today. My mower carnage.
Uh-oh.
There'll be a video that should be pretty cool.
Oh.
Hey, I'll be back, guys.
All right.
Hey, somebody stole my bike.
That's kind of like what I'm talking about, where your feet's back at the back and you lay down over the top of the motor is what I'm wanting to build.
Oh.
I took my bike just like that to the shop a couple weeks ago. I haven't seen it since.
Isn't that Pro Street or something?
It's a nitro bike.
I'll be back, fellas.
That's okay.
Cedric is live. I just got that notification.
But that's basically what I'm wanting to do. I want to build one like the nitro bikes, but shrunk down version for the like the 212 Predator and stuff like that.
Oh,
A real wide slick on the back. Just something crazy. My usual thing, build something that'll get you hurt.
You got to put a V-twin on it, though.
I got a 14 horse out there, but I think I know where I can get my hands on a couple more.
14. Come on now.
I'm talking about the V-twin. I think I know where I can come up with a couple more of them. I don't know what size they are. They're just a V-twin Briggs. If I find a Kohler or something like that, V-twin horizontal shaft, that would be good too, but those are hard to find. Sam, dangerous can be fun, but with them little old rocket ships that you build, it ain't dangerous. It's suicidal. That little old thing with them 212s is crazy.
Justin Beck, do you know Hazy Days?
Ooh, that's an idea, Mudster.
That's a good idea, Mudster, but I've been looking at doing one with a gearbox like a Harley, where it has a separate gearbox from the motor, so you can actually do a shift on the fly, shift up and down.
A regular 6-speed transmission off a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That would work.
But the ones that are a separate unit, not the ones that are built. Yeah.
Yeah, the old style.
Yeah.
Where you had the primary plate and all, your transmission bolted to, and then it bolted to the motor. Basically like a torque converter style.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it has a big chain drive on them.
Yep.
With a clutch pack on the motor.
Mudster, I felt motorcycle transmissions cheaper than that, but you find somebody that's got an old bike that needs a good bit of work. You buy the whole bike for $400 or $500, and then you take off what you want and sell the rest of it and get pretty much your money back out of it.
Right. That's what I was actually looking at doing, because you can get the hydraulic brakes and the gear, the transmission, and all that stuff.
See, I thought about doing something similar to that with one of them big red 200 3-wheelers that my uncle's got. One of them was one that I had when I was little. It was my dad's. And I wrecked it and thought about taking it if the motor's messed up on it, is pull the cylinder and all that off of it and cap off where the jug and all goes and turn it into a transmission. I've seen people do that. When they come off where the magneto and all is at with a pulley and all to run to the motor. And then you got your forward and reverse and all that off of that transmission off that 200.
Okay, I got you, Mudster. What I'd really like to find is a 750 Honda automatic, and just use the whole motor and transmission.
750 Honda automatic.
Yep, my dad had one with a sidecar on it.
Was that late 70s model?
It would have been, yeah. Well, no, probably been in early 80s. Whatever year the Twin Star was out is when the 250. I think it was a 250 Twin Star. Mm-hmm. That's what my mom had, and my dad had the 750 with the sidecar.
Oh, okay.
And his was an automatic.
Gotcha.
That would be an awesome go-kart motor or something like that, because there's no clutch to mess with.
Have a good one there, Justin.
Clicker in first gear, then you can hand shift it all the way through.
Yeah.
Back.
Well, it's basically the same thing with using the 3-wheeler or 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Motor system. It basically has the built-in clutch thing on it, so you can just shift on the go.
Yeah, but I'm wanting the 750 cc's.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a death wish.
Well, my buddy that passed away kept trying to talk me into putting either a Ninja 600 or a Ninja 1000 motor on my yellow Franken buggy.
No, go for a Hayabusa.
1300. That would be mean. That would be very mean.
That would be a wheelie machine, bro.
Possibly with me on it, it still might pull the front a little bit.
I would actually like to find a 1200 Yamaha motor to build a pulling tractor out of.
That would be cool.
Oh, they use the 750s and the 1100s. That's the two classes they run. The 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
And 90% of them are either Suzuki or Yamaha.
I wish I could get my hands on that motor that my buddy had his own machine shop built. He took the front 2 cylinders off a Chrysler 440. He literally cut the front 2 cylinders off, cam, crank, everything, and built the back plate and all to go up against it.
Yeah.
And he was going to put it on a motorcycle at one time. Then he changed his mind and put it on a pull tractor. But good God, what a cam did he put on that thing. He fires that sucker off, it shakes the ground around it when it's sitting there idling.
Well, years back, probably in the early 90s, there was a company out there that was making, they used the small block Chevy and the big block Chevy. They're making V4s and V6s. They would cut the center, the mold they had. They cut the center cylinders out of them and put the mold back together and cast aluminum blocks. All your water pumps, everything, all that stuff would fit, and they were making cams for them. And they had a 305, a 350, a 400 small block, a 402 big block, and a 454 big block. All 4-cylinder or 6 cylinders.
That would
They
be
were
cool.
mean. They were mean motors. I cannot remember the name of the company that was doing it, but when you looked at them, they looked just from the front. They looked just like a regular, small or big block Chevy.
Yeah.
They made the heads and everything.
There was a company, I don't remember who it was, that built a motor for a rail. I think it was a 400 or 420 cubic inch 4-cylinder. A special built motor just for drag racing rail car. What'd you say, Twisted?
Hi, Twisted.
They built them for a while and was testing them, but I don't know whatever happened after that because I remember seeing videos where they were testing it, but I don't know if they ever finished up, start making them, or if it was they only had them few prototypes that they built.
Well, I remember reading the articles and stuff in the Chevy magazines, the Chevy Hot Rod magazines.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of stories on them.
That'd be interested to look up, see if what we could find out if they still doing it or whatever.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool to find one of them 6-cylinder big blocks,
Or even a 4-cylinder big block.
I thought Caterpillar made 4-cylinder big blocks.
Not that kind of big block.
Damn it.
Hey, Detroit made some big blocks too.
Mm-hmm. A V8 Detroit. I've seen a few of them. Quad turbo V8.
Yeah, but
Stroke?
you ain't never seen anything like a V12 Detroit.
I seen a
Cylinder.
V16.
The one we worked on, the cylinders were big enough you could stick your head down in.
There's a type of Detroit called a Screaming Jimmy. And I've seen one of them things running in a bit of a different animal.
But that V16 I seen.
Inside the cylinders.
Do what, Craig?
They've got some Detroits that you can stand inside of the cylinders.
Oh yeah, cruise ship motors and stuff.
Yeah, but this V12 was a road truck.
Wow. The V16 I was talking about is actually two V8 Detroits hooked end to end on CF Warner's show truck.
Mm-hmm.
That burgundy truck, and it's decked out in chrome and gold-plated parts.
Well, I worked on a rock crusher back when I used to do diesels.
Uh-huh.
And it was a V12 in a pit, and that sumbitch ran away.
Mm.
Ooh. Yikes.
It ran on natural gas. And there was a leak somewhere. And that sumbitch took off and started running away.
We
used to carry boxes of rags that are like made out of like t-shirt and sweatshirt material.
Mm.
And the guy I was with, I was actually helping him. It was his job. I was just his helper that day. He grabbed that box of rag and started throwing them into the turbo. And you could hear it bog down a little bit. The only thing that shut it off is he had a Carhartt shirt jack, on. Mm. He ripped that off his back, wadded it up, and stuffed it in the turbo, and you heard it chewing it up, and it finally choked it out.
Dadgum. The only one I ever heard run away was my uncle had a little Isuzu diesel, and one of the guys that worked for him filled it up with regular gas instead of diesel and fired it up.
The exhaust manifold on this thing was cherry red by the time we got it shut off.
I can imagine.
Because he hollered at me. I was standing like 2 foot behind him. He said, if this don't work, head over the bank. The operator had already left.
Dadgum.
It probably only ran 3 minutes, maybe 4.
Mm.
But it seemed like 15.
Dadgum. That's a crazy, eerie sound that they make when they start running away and start hitting them peak RPMs.
Well, it was vibrating so bad it moved about 1.5 feet, the whole machine.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's when a guy that's been working on this stuff for like 30 some years has a really worried look on his face, you know it's almost time to go up over the bank.
Yeah, it's like, see ya. Wouldn't want to be you.
Yep.
That's when you see if you can run fast enough to make your heels slap yourself in the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Dadgum.
But that engine almost immediately got an air blade put in it. It didn't have one.
What you say, Juan Carlos?
Hey, Juan.
Hey, Juan.
What did it do? Just gasket or something let go and it starts sucking too much air or something?
The main gas line coming to it at the regulator had a leak.
Uh-huh.
And the regulator was right up by the mixer, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
And it was sucking that gas right into the engine.
Oh, through the intake?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And everything there ran off of like well gas, so it didn't have the rotten egg smell in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't smell it. The thing just wasn't running right. And we were up there, we were, diagnosing it, and the operator was up in it, and we're like, okay, run it up, run it down. Okay, we're checking this, checking that. And all of a sudden it started gaining RPMs. The guy I'm working with, he looks at me and looks up the operator, and he looks back at me and looks back at the operator again. He just kind of throws his hands up. He thought the operator was throttling it up.
Yeah.
And he kept putting his thumb down. Finally, the operator put his hands up in the air. He's like, I'm not doing it. And that's when he kind of looks at me. He starts looking around. That thing's just gaining RPM, gaining RPM, gaining RPM. He's like looking around. He knew it was going to run away. He grabbed that box of rags. So we had the intake open, got the air cleaner and stuff on. He started throwing handfuls of them rags up in there to get it to shut off. And it's just sucking them things in like a vacuum cleaner because he couldn't get big enough wad to go in. And that's when he peeled off his shirt jack and wadded it up, reached up in like a basketball player and jammed that son of a bitch up into the intake. I actually watched it suck that jacket in. And it disappeared and it hit the turbo, and that's when it cut it off. It just bound the turbo up.
Dang.
Cut the air off. And then that's after about 15 minutes and sitting on the bank talking to one another. We went down and started looking around, and he had his bottle of soap water out. He's spraying everything down, and that's when we found the leak coming out.
Good thing that didn't happen while that guy was running that truck up and down in the pit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine that thing running away from you and it in gear?
Yeah. Well, that rock crusher there, that one was up on the hill. And then there was one other, I don't remember what the hell they called it now, but that was the only two pieces of equipment that did not have a air blade cutoff on them.
What are you talking about with an air blade cutoff?
It's right at the intake manifold. It's a big steel plate that drops down in and cuts the air off to the motor.
Oh, okay.
They're spring loaded, and it's just a cable system that goes up to the operator, and he pulls it like a ripcord. It pulls a pin out, and that blade drops down and just basically seats against it and don't let it suck any more air. But it has to be like right at the.
Basically, it's like a trap door.
Yep, exactly. Because I've seen them actually stay right, like the bearings and the seals go bad in the turbo, and it start pumping engine oil up into the motor, and will stay running that way too. And you can shut the fuel off and everything else to them, That's the only way to get them shut off is shut the air off to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them like burn all the oil out of the crankcase and still running.
Jeez. Them big motors like that's a lot of oil.
Well, that was on one was a excavator, and the other one was a uke.
A uke.
Big dump truck. That was right after my buddy took over the service contract for that stone pit. And here, what it was is the old company just wasn't servicing and inspecting stuff well enough. Basically, just patching the stuff back together to keep the pit running instead of taking a day and fixing something the right way.
They throw a Band-Aid on it and send it on back out.
Yep. Well, that's what the company wanted. And my buddy's like, hey, if you want me to do your work for you, that's not how I roll. I'm not gonna kill somebody or hurt somebody or, have you try to say, well, something you did and, you cost me, $250,000, dump truck. He said, if I find it and it's broke, I either fix it or I walk and you have somebody else banded it back together.
Yeah. Some people's that way though. They just want to throw a Band-Aid on it, keep working it until it totally breaks down, then they wonder why it's going to take so long to fix it.
Yep.
It's better to spend a little time to fix it the first time the right way to end up losing the whole equipment later down the road because it kept being patched.
Yep. No, there was so much stuff that we found in there that, hydraulic lines, like steel ones, and they'll crack from vibration.
Oh yeah.
They would go in and instead of replacing the line, they would go in and weld them, either braze them or MIG weld them or whatever to seal them up, get them back going. He's like, you guys are like nuts, because I can understand if it's something, it's down in the pit, you got to get it back up to the hill to work on it.
Yeah.
Take the welder down there, weld it up, get it back up on the hill, but not to go back into service.
That's crazy because when you weld it, it makes that metal brittle.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. We found some lines that it looked like the nut had been over tightened and cracked or whatever. So instead of replacing it or whatever, they just weld the crack up and then weld around it and then weld around on. I mean, there was no nut left. It was all weld.
Oh, good
So the
Lord.
line was welded to the fitting.
That's suicidal right there.
Well, we worked there 3.5 years on and off. And when he finally decided he didn't want to do that no more for them guys, because it was just getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably only open another 3 or 4 years.
All right, Sam, have a good one.
There, Sam.
Yeah, I don't want to be around that kind of stuff. I worked for a logging outfit. It was the same way. They just patch stuff up and send you on back out. And they had me in an old Mac, late 70s model Mac. And they kept patching stuff together. I ended up getting into 3 damn wrecks with that thing. And I was like, nope, I'm done.
Hey, Ben. How you
Something
doing?
telling me to get out of this truck, and I'm not dealing with it. I'd been with the company, the guy, for not even a week, and I got in a wreck, totaled out a brand new car because the brakes didn't work right. They patched that up. Then I went out and was doing something else, hauling a load somewhere. Brakes acted up again. They fixed that. Then it ended up blowing the oil out the motor, so they had to come and repair that on the side of the road. And then an E-clip popped on the main pivot for the air brakes on the drive axle. that works the cam mechanism. It sucked into the brake system, locked the brakes down, snatched the truck off in a ditch, and about killed me then. I'm like, nope, 3 strikes, I'm done. Something's telling me to get out of this truck and get away from them people. So that's what I did. I ended up quitting and coming home.
No, they had 2 auto cars there that they would use they would load trailers and then tow them up out front with it, drop them, and then guys would come in and hook to them and take them out.
Yeah. What'd you say, Ben?
We had to replace the front wheel bearings in them things one time, and the last company that worked on them, the threads on them were getting so bad for the nut that held the bearings in.
Yeah.
They would tighten them up the best they could, and then they welded those in place.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. And you could tell where they had cut them off with a grinder, the welds off.
Yeah.
And then re-welded them.
Yeah.
So it'd been done more than one time.
Yeah, Alexander, that last time when that brake locked up, it snatched me off on a dirt road into about a 6-foot deep ditch and about threw me out the cab of that daggone Mack truck. When it come to a full stop, the door was standing wide open, partially in the dirt, and you could step out. You could just slide your foot out the floor of the truck and step onto the side of the bank where it was down in that ditch. Slammed my head up against the cab real good and all, and I was like, I'm done. Something's telling me to get out of this truck. I've never liked Mack trucks to begin with, but I was giving it a chance. That just finished me off on Mack trucks. I've never liked the Mack. But it's crazy. Well, a lot of places, a lot of these smaller companies, they don't have health and safety people that keep an eye on what they do. Until there's a major accident or whatever, a lot of people don't even pay these smaller companies no attention.
There's no health and safety. Are you talking about Swift? I don't know anything about trucking. I'm just asking a question.
No, health and safety is basically like OSHA safety groups that go in and make sure people's doing stuff the right way.
In the right way, with
make sure they ain't just throwing stuff together to make money off of it. Like a lot of these small logging crews or logging companies, they'll take patch trucks together and send them out on the road that shouldn't be out on the road. They patch it up just enough to pass the DOT inspection, and that's it.
Yep.
And a lot of times they have to fudge it to get it to pass the DOT inspection.
That's why a lot of these stone quarries and stuff have these outside contractors coming in to do their service work and everything. So if something does happen, they can say, well, that's a contracted thing. That's not us. You know, we don't know anything about it. They said it was fixed.
But yet they're the ones telling the contract company what to fix and what not to fix. So basically they can get away with doing nothing. But the man that owned the company, he's the nicest guy you ever want to meet and all. But instead of shutting the truck down, like you said, Puller, and fixing everything right, he throws a patch on it so he can keep making money off of it.
Right.
Well, that's a very old school way of thinking. If it still works, we're going to keep using it. If we can use it, it will be used.
The first week I started working for him, he had a real good F-350 4-door dually with the stuff, with all the stuff in the back of it and all that he drove every day. The week after I started, he went and bought 2 more F-350s, brand new. And we're like, where's all this money coming from all of a sudden? And instead of fixing 2 of his over-the-road trucks that was hauling stuff, he was taking the money they were making to buy these trucks with instead of fixing and repairing them what needed to be done. I mean, he was spending his money stupidly to make a profit. You can't.
I can vividly remember it was 92 when we were working down there, because the owner's son had a 1992 Ford Ranger, and it was lunchtime, and the Ukes would go up on top of the hill and park to have their lunch, which is right by the office. And he whipped in there one day thinking he was just going to be there a couple seconds, and he got into something. The one Uke driver jumped in his Uke, didn't even look behind him, and backed right over that thing.
Ooh, ouch. There went that truck.
Yep. He come out raving, hollering, screaming, and everything else. And his dad walked out the door right behind him and looked and goes, "Oh, you parked behind him. You know not to park behind him. They can't see behind him. I guess you're out of truck, son." So he went down to the yard and had to get one of the old, like, late 70s, early 80s pickup trucks, and he was driving that for like 3 months.
I've seen a bunch of people start out be doing pretty good with their business and all, and stuff seems to be, doing good for them. They start, getting a little bit built up, and they go stupid and go out and buy all kinds of stuff, thinking they're going to keep making the money like they were, and then all of a sudden everything falls off and they lose everything. That's what that guy was doing. He seen where he was starting to make a little bit more money because he was getting extra drivers and all. Everything seemed to be working out for him pretty good. Then he started getting over his head. Found out later after I left, about a year after I left, that he went belly up and lost everything he had. I'm like, going too big too fast.
The company we worked for after we got done with that one was an excavating company, and they would pull stuff out of service for stupid things.
What you say, Harold?
A couple lights in the dash weren't working. Oh, that thing's out of service. We can't run that.
Yeah,
it's like it sat here for 3 days because a couple lights in the dash. They're like, "Yep." That company was. I mean, they were like the polar opposite. It was a polar opposite, man. I mean, they'd have lists of stuff for us to fix. Well, these lines have have some weather cracking in them. You better replace those. Okay, it's your money.
Exactly right, Mudster. Like people that win the lottery, they see all that big money come in at one time, just buy anything and everything, and then later they're like, "Where'd all the money go? I have nothing to show for it."
Lottery ruined my life.
Jay, what's money?
Something that we ain't got enough of.
I'm not familiar with this term.
It's a song by Pink Floyd.
Oh, mythical stuff. Yeah, it's like a myth. It's like they tell you it exists, but where?
Wow. That's about it. There, one. Some people don't have no common sense. Like they always say, you can't fix stupid, but you can muffle it with duct tape. And lots of it.
Can't fix stupid, but sometimes it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I find that a good, a good threat of bodily harm goes a long way.
Mudster said he threw some change in the yard hoping it will grow. Yeah, I'm still looking for that elusive money tree. I ain't found one yet. I ain't even found the penny tree.
I used to have a money tree, Jay, and it would never grow any money. I never understood why. I finally got tired of it and threw it out.
I hear you.
Yeah, the neighbor picked it out of your garbage can and became a millionaire like that.
Hey, wow. Kathy.
Because he had a green thumb, right?
That's right, Ben. Remove the warning labels and let natural selection take over.
Exactly. I think they need to do exactly that. Remove all warning labels on everything. You want to eat Tide Pods? Go right ahead. We'll sit back, watch, and giggle and laugh.
You want to dry your hair or make toast in the bathtub? Go for it.
Here, this one's orange flavored. Ah!
I still like the IQ tester ring. It's just got the 2 prongs in it. It's made for sticking in them pretty little things in the wall. Oh, man. I know one thing. I wish Mother Nature would figure out what she wants to do. One day it's hot, next day it's kind of cool, next day it's flooding.
I think Stewie Griffin had it right when he said, "Who wants to play? Let's swallow the stuff under the sink."
Oh, man. So, Puller, you about got your tractor back together?
It's all together except for the clutch shield and the drive shaft shield. I got everything all hooked up, ready to go. I was going to test fire it tonight. Decided not to because, for one, it's a little chilly out there. It's like 68, something like that, 65, 68. And methanol, methanol don't like to burn real easy when it's that cool.
It's got to be in the upper 70s for it to burn decent.
Yeah, so it's going to be warm tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get out there and get it fired up and get the carburetor adjusted in. And
you gonna video record it when you first fire it up?
I'm gonna try. I did bleed the all the air out of the fuel system and got the carburetor full of fuel.
Cool.
I just checking for leaks, so if I go out tomorrow morning and the tank's empty, I know it had a leak somewhere.
Uh-oh. Is that a sealed fuel system?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just like a regular, like a mower fuel system. There's no return line or anything on it.
Oh, so it's vented?
Yeah.
Okay, I know some. I know. I can't remember what kind it was. I don't know if it was the alcohol or what, but they run it with a sealed fuel system, and it had a return line and all. It run through a pump.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's got a fuel pump on it, but it only makes about 7 or 8 pounds of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of waiting to see if that's going to be enough. Everybody tells me that it should be 7 to 12 pounds, and if so, then I'll run a T block up at the carburetor and run like a 3/16 line back down into the fuel tank.
I've seen people do that, take an electric fuel pump and turn them down as much as they can for like lawnmower motors and all, and then run the line into a T and have one go into the carb and the other go back to the tank so the excess pressure won't blow the carb up.
Right. Well, the problem I had with not the fuel pump I have on it now, but the one I had before, it would actually push past the float needle.
Flood it out every time.
Well, only if you let it idle long enough. If you're running it wide open, it wouldn't do it. So,
Juan Carlos, I have the answer for you. For the perpetual motion engine, I just simply haven't found a tall enough hill for me to roll down.
Oh, Captain, you crazy. I seen a guy it was a round wheel and it had kind of oval pieces set in three different things off the center. And as it rolled, it had pieces that rolled in them ovals inside the circle, and it pretty much kept going. I can't remember what it was called though. But they built one of those, and once you get it started rolling, it'll just about go and keep going. But it uses the weights as they falling to keep pulling and pushing. See if I can find a picture of it.
Do they call it the it? Nobody got my joke.
All right, let's see. Where's it at?
It is from a show that's like 20 years old, but it's not a 20-year-old episode.
Methane. Yeah. We're all a bit lost, Munster.
I'm always lost.
No, I was asking Jay if he knew whether or not it was the it, from South Park.
Oh,
I don't remember. All right, here's one. It's got looks like 6 slots, and it's different, a little bit different than the one I remember seeing. But this one will give you the same idea. There you go. See, as one slides, it keeps it going, and it just keeps. Once they started, it'll keep rolling and starting.
Yeah, there's a channel on YouTube that actually does all that kind of stuff.
It's just wild how they can come up with that stuff, and it just keeps rolling. But that's one of the things I remember seeing a long time ago.
I was thinking that too, Jim.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet my older brother, Ed.
I was also thinking, rock me, baby, like a wagon wheel. Old Bob Dylan.
Also, somebody else has got that that says that same saying in a song is hang on a sec. Great moment.
It's a country song. Come on.
It's country song.
Going through my head for the last 3 days straight.
The song is called Wagon Wheel, but I'm trying to remember who sings it.
Darius Rucker.
Yeah, Darius Rucker. I could see him playing this day, but I was having a great moment. Used to be the lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish.
That was my next question. Where is he? What band did he start out singing in?
Hootie and the Blowfish. Hey, Harold, when you get through doing yours, you want to come wash mine? I don't mind.
I don't mind either. You can come do mine too.
That's one thing I hate doing is having to wash dishes. Ugh.
That's why I have a girl come over and clean house for me.
That's why I got a dishwasher in there. Just make sure they're rinsed out, put them in the dishwasher, turn that sucker on, and let it go.
I'd rather wash the dishes in my truck.
Free energy tech. I don't know. I'm just into whatever piques my interest at the time. One.
I'm into big horsepower and little packages.
I completely forgot what I was thinking.
What's for supper tonight?
No, I already ate right before I came on. I had a really good thought, and I thought it was going somewhere, and it just went gone.
Oh, you had a tractor moment then, huh?
I had a Justin moment. Yeah. Just totally.
Yeah, me too, Alexander. I'd rather wash my truck than dishes because if I miss the spot on the on the truck, if I miss a spot on my dishes, it might mold or something.
Man, I hate washing the dishes more than I hate doing just about anything else.
Hey, Juan, I run out of brain farts a long time ago. I have what they call sometimers. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. And when it gets severely bad, it'd be called Alzheimer's because I'll all the time not have it. Oh man.
I see. There's not a whole lot of dishes here anymore because I've pretty much switched over to paper plates and plastic silverware.
That's what I'm fixing to start doing.
I'm about to.
Now I do wash my plastic silverware a couple times before I throw it away, but
me, it just goes in the trash along with the paper bowls and paper plates and stuff. I'm done with it. Yeah. Trash.
Yeah, the paper plates don't hold up well when you put them in the sink to wash them, but
I gotta say, I've been looking for a way to increase my carbon footprint. I think that might be it.
Styrofoam.
That too.
The old original Big Mac styrofoam containers. The ones they claim don't biodegrade nowhere.
Well, styrofoam and gasoline will keep you warm.
Well, we also know that the biodegradable containers biodegrade faster than a McDonald's burger. I'll tell you that.
About like what was that guy said? When you in the woods with the biodegradable toilet paper, you got to wonder how fast is it how fast it dissolves or whatever. You don't want to be in the middle of a wipe and it disappear on you.
Well, depends on. Yeah, but never mind.
But I still think that styrofoam will biodegrade before a Twinkie will.
Yeah.
Man, Twinkies don't even taste like they used to no more. When they stop with them and come back out, the new ones they make now just almost taste like you're trying to eat rubber.
Styrofoam will biodegrade before Twinkies, before McDonald's food, and before Starbucks coffee. Oh, Starbucks is going out of business, so get your fill before they do.
It won't hurt my feelings none. I never liked Starbucks overpriced crap.
It wouldn't. The price wouldn't have been so bad if their coffee didn't taste like sumo wrestler took a dump on a burning tire.
And you can't go into a Starbucks and buy just a black coffee. They look at you like you've asked for the blood of a baby seal or something. If you just want black coffee, they look at you like
they think you're a damn caveman if you don't know how to speak Starbuckese.
I still like that thing when they talking about you want a venti and all this other stuff, and he's going off on that woman like, no, that just shows that you're ignorant in 3 different languages. What was that movie it was from? Do what, Puller?
So you want to try a really neat trick? Take a stack of styrofoam cups, a dozen or so, and in the bottom cup put some like powdered chlorine, and in the top cup fill it full of brake fluid, and walk away.
Nice little smoke bomb.
A little more than a smoke bomb. It'll actually catch on fire. It'll melt down.
I don't remember that one, but I remember taking the chlorine tablets from the pool and putting them in crushing them up and putting them in a soda bottle, and then you pee in the soda bottle, put the cap on it, and throw it in somebody's shed. Ruin their week.
You can also put aluminum foil and the Works bathroom toilet cleaner in a 2-liter bottle, and be quick about it, and put the cap back on and throw it. It's a chemical reaction that creates gas, and it'll explode.
About like doing dry ice bombs in water.
Yeah.
Mm.
But, I used to be a
Dry ice is
when I was
expensive.
when I was on the fire department years back. I went through fire prevention classes, and one of the teachers of the class was the state fire marshal, and for one whole day he went through nothing but ways that they found or discovered that people had started arson fires, and that chlorine and brake fluid and styrofoam cups is one of the top ones because it works like a timer. And
say Boneyard.
Hey,
and usually hey, what's up, Boneyard? And usually that's like garage fires. They look for that.
Yeah.
Because they're just common chemicals that are in a garage. And you can take a stack. And I at one point in time I knew how many cups you could stack up to give you how much time, but it actually melts down through, and the chlorine will create enough heat that it catches on fire. Then it uses the polystyrene as an accelerant that's melted, and there you go.
The funniest way I've heard of somebody burning a house down, and a lot of people thought it was a joke until they tried it. Lay's potato chips. Just plain original Lay's potato chips. Put it in an electrical box and catch the daggone potato chip on and walk away. It'll catch the wires in that electrical box on fire and burn the whole house down.
He had evidence that somebody did the exact same thing, but a car fire. Stuffed a bag of Lay's, open bag of Lay's potato chips up in the by the feet heater, cranked it on high, and walked away. The oils from the potato chips finally got hot enough, and they started burning.
It's funny how a Lay's potato chip will burn with all the oil that's in it.
Doritos.
Well,
the
the
original
old
Lay's,
the original Lay's were so greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Doritos, Cheetos, they all will. I'm making Crystal moan over here. She's like, Cheetos.
Juan Carlos said egg yolks in a microwave oven, boom.
Well, of course they're explosive. It wouldn't be fun otherwise.
But I thought they were joking with me, talking about set a Lay's potato chip on fire and then put it in an electrical box. So I went and bought a little bag of Lay's potato chips original, opened it up, pulled one out, and kept messing with a lighter until it caught on fire, and that sucker burnt. And I'm thinking, ooh. As it started getting a little low, put another one on top of it, and it kept burning. I'm like, crazy. Harold was saved.
Woohoo, Harold.
That is crazy. All right, let's see. Let's open up another chat. Heck yeah. All right, let's see. Close that out. But
Boneyard, the little turd have a good birthday and everything?
What I miss?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking the wrong person. Duh.
Man, whatever.
I'm having a J moment. Never mind.
Yep. Woo!
Rewind. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Has it?
Every time I started to go outside to do something, it'd start raining. It just, as soon as I stepped out the door and it was raining, it just put me in the mood like, oh, the heck with it.
Do what now?
It's
My
rained.
mind's already on vacation.
Well, it's rained here pretty much every afternoon since not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So it's going on 2 weeks now. Every afternoon it's rained, or during the day sometime it's rained.
That's the weather we had for the last month.
Oh man.
So, Craig,
Yep, brother.
I'm looking for a Model A.
You're looking for a Model A?
That will fit on my kitchen table.
That'll fit where?
On my kitchen table.
Yeah, that probably won't happen.
You want a model of a Model A?
Yeah, I'm not looking for
Metal toy, plastic.
I'm not looking for a full-size Model A that I can park in a parking space. No.
You want a metal toy, plastic?
I'm not quite sure what I'm going to go for yet, but I do know this. I want to kind of steer away from plastic.
Fiberglass bodied one.
Well,
with the metal frame.
To be big, it's going to have to be wood, vinyl, and metal, and rubber.
So you want a model of a Model A? That's a lot of A's.
I might make my own. I might choose my own scale and just go from there. But I was kind of hoping to just like.
Yeah, that's a lot of A's.
Build something. This is like down the road project. I'm not looking to do anything immediate.
Hey, Puller.
I'm being held hostage by my editing software. I got 9% left.
Hey, Puller. Captain is turning into Fonzie. He likes a lot of A's.
Oh, jeez.
Was that Sherry Winkler or Harry Winkler?
People, if you ain't figured it out yet, I'm a little on the crazy side today, or crazier side. It's been a rough week.
Mama, we're all crazy now.
If we go through one smallengination session without hearing that, I will have a heart attack. Like, why didn't it happen? There's something wrong with the world. Stroke. And you're not the only one that does it.
Yeah. That should be our mantra. Mama, we're all crazy now.
Captain, what kind of Model A you wanting?
I don't know. I was gonna
Model A Touring, coupe,
Pick 'em up truck. Pick 'em up truck.
Oh, that's a Model 2.
Right, Rod.
I was gonna, well, like I was gonna say, and I lost track of thought because I'm still kind of groggy. Yeah, I was probably gonna build a rat rod style, just whatever. So whatever I come across, whether it be a Model A, a Model T, a Model whatever, it could be a Chevy, could be a Dodge, whatever I find from the,
How about a Duesenberg? Mm-hmm.
the teens or the 20s or whatever, that type of era.
72 LeBaron.
I kind of wanted it to be bigger than like the normal scales of things, like anywhere like here you go.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's contagious.
Hang on.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool. Captain, I found you something. But it's not
see you, Boneyard.
Have a good one, Boneyard.
Yeah.
Hang on. Just
all right.
Slow your roll.
I'm fine.
Yeah, sure.
I'm still trying to figure out whether
it's a model kit that you put together, but that's what it looks like when you're done.
Oh, it's a wood one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking though.
I got something similar to that in the other room.
It's a Model T hot rod. It ain't but $15.76 for the whole kit.
Hang on, I'll show you.
There's the back of it.
Hang on,
Would you be interested?
I gotta rub my eye first. Okay, I'll be back.
But that's pretty cool there.
I like it.
I'll still be me.
It would be interesting to see it put together.
And there's one called a
Wouldn't
Bone
it?
Shaker. There you go. Another wood model. And that'd be right up Captain's alley. It's got skulls on it.
Oh, I got me a rat rod.
Hey, Captain, check that out.
I got me a wooden rat rod already.
Yeah, but look at this one.
This one is one that somebody else made though. This is I picked this up in the Salvation Army, and it's got stuff written on the bottom of it.
Uh-huh.
I actually found the company that owned it before. It's a True Value Hardware.
Huh.
I found a picture of it online, like this actual truck. So, yeah, I see that one. That's a Bone Shaker, you said?
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
skulls on the front and everything.
That's a replica of an actual rat rod.
Yep.
It's a Hot Wheels one.
And let's see, there's one called the Red Baron. I remember seeing an actual car built that looked like that.
Yeah, that's the Hot Wheels replicas.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Heck yeah.
No, Harold, I don't think I'll be going because I don't have a Chinese goat cart.
Then I found all kinds of other models there, Captain. And actual real cars.
I'm just looking to freaking find something that I could like modify. I don't even need it to be in particularly good condition.
Yeah.
I want something that I can make into a rat rod and nobody can yell at me for it. And if they try, I just freaking ignore them anyway. But I'm just saying, like, if I get something like, even if it's like a kid's like little pedal car or something, you know, that like barely fits a 2-year-old in it, I could at least freaking like make something out of that. Give it an actual floor, you know, maybe put an actual frame underneath it, drop it down, you know, stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
So, because it's not going to have a kid in it, it's just going to, you know, be something that I work on and, you know,
Something to tinker with.
possibly even do a giveaway for. But that, like I said, that's like a down the road project. But that's something I could actually, you know, like work on here in my kitchen.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, but no hammering and no rotary tools.
We'll see.
Your neighbors will get pissed.
Yeah, I'm really making myself, you know, like unconcerned with that. They're gonna learn that, you know, they call me Captain Jerk for a reason, and then I'll give them a reason to, you know, call the police if they won't really want me to. They really want me. Yeah.
I can see the fear welling up in your eyes that they're gonna, you know, holler at you.
Oh yeah. Okay. I wasn't scared of that in the first place. I was just tired of arguing. No, I'm not looking to push buttons or nothing, but you know, I'm not gonna be you know, the model neighbor forever. All right. I can be polite to a point, and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and you know,
That sounds like a line from Roadhouse. Be nice.
Until I tell you it's time to not be nice.
Who's gonna save you from yourself?
if they call my mama?
Well, is she?
Is she?
You know what? I might actually do a Jeep or something instead of a Model A or an older car. Might just do like a little Jeep. It might be a
I was thinking one of those kiddie Power Wheel Jeep things and stretch it out like a racer.
No. I don't want nothing like that.
Oh.
I don't want anything that big. I want something I can fit on my kitchen table that's not going to cover my kitchen table. Maybe
No, not the Power Wheels. I'm saying the Tonka toy size. You know,
Justin,
what?
would it be better to have a Mattel Tykes bed?
Huh? Well, I do have a 36 Ford up on top of my flat right there.
No, those Mattel Tyke beds. The race car bed frame.
Well, no, because I would be tempted to sleep in that.
That reminded me of a meme I seen on Facebook earlier today. It said guy goes into a furniture store, says, I want one of them race car beds. And the guy says, okay, we got those. How old is he? And the guy says, how old is who? He was getting the bed for himself.
Yeah.
You can put a 212 Predator motor in it. Mm-hmm.
Or be about like on. Have y'all seen that movie, Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
About like on there, talking about, oh, my roommates is gonna get me a CB for it and maybe some rims for Christmas. I had the sweetest race car bed. I love that movie.
So rims for that thing would be like, oh, I don't know, wheel covers.
Are they wheel covers or pillowcases?
Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder if it's a rear engine or a mid engine, because when he lifted the hood on it, it was a storage thing for more pillows. Captain, you look tired.
I think I might go back to sleep. Because
Coffee. Jabba.
no,
I'm already drinking coffee.
Yeah, I already freaking guzzled coffee, dude. It's not doing any damn thing. I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah, it probably ain't gonna be much longer, and I'm gonna be shutting this down for tonight. It's already 8:45.
Oh, it's only 20 till 9, Jay. Don't lie.
Do what? Do what, Puller?
I said it's only 20 till 9. We're not on bar time.
Well, the time on my computer must be wrong. I need to go in there and fix that. Yeah, Mustard, I love that movie, Grandma's Boy. I watch it every chance I get.
So, does your race car bed have sweet rims?
Fotia asked you something there, Captain.
I'm sorry.
See you, Juan.
Have a good one, Juan.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jay, did you
I
see?
was just saying that car right there is a 36 Ford Coupe.
Hey, Goff. Do what, Puller?
Hey, Jay, did you see the message from Nate in the family box?
Not yet. I'm fixing to check it.
He apologized for dropping out of the stream.
Yeah, let me see my message real quick. Okay. Now get all my stuff back up. Ugh. What movie is that, Alexander? Hey, Goth, she's been in here several times during the live stream. I don't think she's been on here today, but she was, I think, last week.
Well, Goth Dragon Queen, how you doing?
Yeah, she pops in from time to time, Goth. But with her work schedule, a lot of times it's hard for her to come in and hang out very much. It's called Burning Rubber. All right, I'll look that one up, Alexander.
Word.
I've been doing this for, I don't know, how long have I been?
A good long stretch. It's
Pretty
probably
good little
since
while now.
January.
Been live streaming, yes, since about January.
Oh,
But been posting videos and all since about September of last year. Which I started my channel, I think, back in, what was it, 08?
okay.
Somewhere back in there, I don't remember. Have a good one, Ben.
Is that after you drink too much coffee?
I used to stream on Twitch, but when my old computer started acting up, I quit with it.
So, okay. Is Twitch an actual site or something? I thought it was just when people, just drink too much coffee.
No, Twitch is a gaming site where people stream them playing video games and all.
No, sounds dumb. I mean, oh wow, that must be nice for them.
Or sitting around talking like we do or whatever. There's all kinds of different things they can do.
Yeah, I did that all the time when I was a little kid. Well, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I took models and I took the model from like an 18th scale, and I would put it in like a 32nd scale. Just because a bigger engine, and what better way than to just mix universes where an 18th scale engine that's like a 305 or something will be a 754 block in a in a 43rd scale or whatever, something like that. Anyway,
Then I got this thing, Captain. This thing's old. Real old.
You want to see old?
Right here?
Okay. Right there, Jay. That truck right there on top of my cabinet.
Yeah.
That is a yellow dash truck from Radio Shack from like 1985. Like right there, up on top of my cabinet. You look up the dash truck. That's the battery I need for that sumbitch right there.
Well, that's the battery I got in this one, but I can't find my charger for it.
No, good luck. You're not gonna.
Actually, they got the chargers on Amazon for it.
That might be that might be the battery that I need for that thing right there, and mine
is
dust. I was gonna convert it But I said nah because I went and sold the remote controller for this car. I had the controller. It's got hydraulics and everything. This one.
Yeah.
And that's a big car, believe it or not. That's that's 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
Which is a few feet long.
I've had that one. I think I got that one back in 01.
That looks like 10th or 12th scale.
I don't remember. I think I got it in 2000 or 01, somewhere back in there.
I had a nice Traxxas Revo. I had a Traxxas Slash.
Mm-hmm.
I had I had an Associated RC10. I had a Kyosho or Kyosho, whatever. And I had that was a buggy. I had a bunch of different things, and they were all like I had a buffet right there in my other apartment, and they were all lined up on it. But that's in my very, very old videos from like 8-9 years ago.
I got some other games, Goth, but I haven't played them in a while. Pretty much Diablo's the only thing I play anymore. I burned out on playing video games several years ago. I quit playing for almost a year straight before I ever got back on the computer playing anything again, and that's just to play Diablo. Got into playing some Tom Clancy's The Division. And there's a few other games I bought and tried and didn't really care for. So, not much on playing video games that much anymore.
I just saw that comment that you made, Mudster. We did similar things with like bottle rockets and stuff, and yeah, we used like Roman candles for for guns and stuff on our some of our RC stuff and some of our models and things and just different toys and whatever. And yeah, they get all burned up, and we're just like, okay, cool. And you start carrying a book of matches with you everywhere you go, and it just gets bad.
Yeah, Goth, I got my disability finally the first of last year. Ain't much, but it's better than not making nothing. I never did get into messing with the rocket engines or nothing like that because for a long time they were pretty much you couldn't get them around here unless you went to specialty hobby shops or whatever. And back when I was younger, I didn't have the money for all that kind of stuff.
I didn't either, so I hustled I hustled and hustled and hustled until I can get it. I'm gonna trade up. Take a handful of old toys, whatever you got laying around.
See what you get bigger and better.
Try to. Before they even had words for those kinds of things back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hustle and hustle and hustle and just keep flipping it and flipping it and flipping it, doing work at roadside stands, doing work at hey
Hot Rod.
Different
Hey, Hot Rod.
Different stores like unloading trucks and stuff, doing work like fixing people's bicycles and things. They give you $1 or $2, you know.
Yeah. It's whatever you
my bike, give me $1. Damn it. I'll go get $1. Hold on. So I put it back on. It ain't gonna fall off for another week. You need a new chain. It was all stretched and just sticking.
Yeah.
Put some oil on it. I pop it back on. I put some oil on it. I adjust your back tire for you, and it'll stay on there, but it's gonna pop back off again. You're gonna give me another $1 next week.
Fotia, what's that link that you put in there?
I'll check it out. Oh, that's my video.
So the last time I attempted
of this. Of this.
Gotcha.
Me working on it. That's cool, man. Fotia's right on that. Cool, man. You're a cool person, man. Yeah, that's cool.
How you been, Hot Rod?
Pardon.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe this week's already just about gone. Seemed like just yesterday we was live streaming on Stacy's. That was
What day?
That was Friday. I'm talking about the Friday stream.
Oh, the Friday stream.
Yeah, I mean it's like bam.
Yeah, did you guys see Stacy's new $10 challenge?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. As soon as I get my back from being hijacked, I got a lot of catching up to do.
Didn't go to work today. I hope you're feeling all right, Hot Rod.
If I could get this place organized, it still wouldn't be a shop.
Well, I got to get the shop built before I can organize it. So I'm pretty much SOL at this point.
Well, I was thinking after I watched this video, I don't think anything that I've got for storage cost me over $10. Not even my workbench.
So do it again.
I'll just film it and turn it in. Here, all this storage, this workbench, everything here. The whole thing probably cost me less than $10. Most of it's built out of old pallet wood and stuff like that. Stuff I've picked up at construction sites, and you'd be amazed what you can find at some of these construction sites where they're building the housing allotments.
Yeah, they just want to get rid of stuff after they build sometimes. And electricians, they take the spools of wire that they've been using, and they can't use it on the next project because everybody wants you to buy brand new. Or they just get money from the next project and they're like, well, we need to know exactly how much, well, whatever. And a lot of electricians, they just take the old spools and they recycle them. They go to the scrapyard with them. So you can get scrap wire. A lot of the time, you can get scrap rebar if it's been sitting around outside. Sometimes they get rusty and they don't want to use it no more. So it'll be like, just get rid of it, or give us a couple of bucks for it, or whatever. Take it.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I helped a buddy of mine. He got permission to go through a housing allotment they were building, and we had a 14-foot, 6-foot wide trailer, and we filled it with dimensional lumber, probably 3 foot high, and not cut up stuff. We're talking full 8, 10, 12, 14-foot long boards. We filled it up 3 foot high.
Dad, come.
It's a few trees.
Yeah,
that's a lot of excess wood laying around.
What it is these crews, and he actually went back with another friend of his, and they got two of those trailers full of concrete block and regular bricks. What it is each one of those houses is a predetermined kit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always overrun. There's extra trusses, 1 or 2 extra trusses, extra boards, extra brick, extra block. And
for if they break something or bust something, they got extra to replace it with and keep going.
Exactly. And when these guys are done building the houses, they would literally move from one house to the bricklayers would be here, and then right behind them was the framers, and then the carpenter, the finishers, electricians, and they would just move from house to house to house and not take anything. And once they get 6 or 7 houses going, all this shit's laying around. Well, they want to start doing the yards and grading and all that stuff, so they want the shit hauled out. And 90% of the time, they would just call a refuge, company in, and they'd scoop the shit all up, dump it in the hoppers, and take it away. Well, he found out about it, went and talked to the guy that was in charge of the thing. He's like, yeah. He goes, if you want to take it, take it. And they went through and like for 2 weeks, every day after work, they went and filled that freaking trailer up. I mean, he got shingles, he got siding, he got everything.
I heard shingle painful.
Yeah, it is. But he took a lot. He took a lot of the siding. He took cabinets and all that kind of stuff. He took them to the one flea market and just sold them. I mean, boom, boom, boom. As fast as he could bring them in, people were buying the stuff.
Yeah. Well, when I was working building duplexes and quadplexes, I was going in with working with a subcontractor doing the electrical and all. They had this whole complex, and they started at one end of the road, and they were building as you go down the road. Each house had a little more done to it all the way to the very end. You started on one, and you see the group go down, turn and start going around with the foundation people. And right behind them was the framers. And I mean, it just a whole series, like you said. Man, we'd go in, it was like just daisy chaining. You pretty much did the same job on every house and go all the way through it. And man, the stuff they left behind, I was like, man, I wish I could get a lot of it. But because it was on a federal base, you had to go through so much rigmarole just to get permission to take anything off of there. I got tired of trying to get permission to pick up any of it.
Right out of high school, a buddy of mine moved to Georgia, doing construction work down there. Mm-hmm. And they were building these housing allotments someplace. It started out as a swamp, and they kind of filled it in or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there's about 15 acres back in the one that they said was unbuildable. They couldn't fill it in or anything.
Yeah.
And so he inquired about buying that land. Well, they sold it to him for pennies on the dollar because it was marshy swamp land. Mm-hmm. He started talking to the guys that were digging the foundations and stuff. And here they were hauling this dirt like 15 or 20 miles away to get rid of it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we'll just take it down there and dump it. And they're like, well, we allowed? He's like, yeah, it's my property. Go ahead. He ended up filling in like 3/4 of that property with that dirt that they dug up from those housing allotments around there. He did the same thing. He would save brick. He would save 2x4s, anything and everything that was left over from these houses.
Mm-hmm.
First thing he built was a big, huge garage to store the stuff in. And 2 years later, after they had like probably 70% of the places done, he started building his house. The only thing he paid for in that house was carpeting, drywall mud, and electrical wiring. Everything else he built in his house come from them job sites. The leftover bricks, the stucco, the fake rock finishes, everything, even drywall. If there was 2 sheets of drywall left over, he'd haul them down and put them in his garage.
If not, they were just going to throw it in dumpsters and haul it off.
Exactly. He would take half sheets, and after 2 years of doing that, he actually had his crew and another crew. They went down. He paid the masons to lay the brick in the basement, and then his crew and another crew worked in the evenings and on weekends for like a month and a half straight, and stick framed and dried in his house. And he worked. He started with a couple rooms, and he actually lived in the thing while he was finishing the inside himself, and it took him almost a year to finish the inside by himself. Mm-hmm. But he's got a beautiful house on, I think it's like 15 acres, set way back in behind, and his driveway goes in off cul-de-sac at the end, and it's like I said, a beautiful house.
Heck yeah. Dang.
And now he's moved up in the company enough. He's a site manager now. So he's like, I'm basically retired now, and I got my house, got my garage, got my toys. You know.
Heck yeah.
And I know for a fact that if he would sell his house and property, he could probably get $250,000 out of it from the allotment stuff that he's in.
If not more.
But it's actually funny because his driveway and stuff is actually in the allotment, but his address isn't, because the back of his property is on another street.
Ah.
And that's the address he uses because he didn't want to be associated with the allotment. But that road is like shit. So his driveway comes in through the allotment.
Gotcha.
Now technically he has a driveway that goes out that way because that's how he had to for the way the house faces and everything. But by code and stuff, that's what he had to use as his address. But his main driveway and stuff comes in out of the allotment.
Cool. Fotia, really?
Hot right, I missed you. Come in, and how you doing, buddy?
I wish you were in Georgia, Fotia. I'd dang sure hit you. I could use a whole bunch of 2x4s and all when I start to build my shop.
Well, there's a trailer company I used to go and get skids from, and when they got the aluminum in, I mean, some of the pieces were 20 feet long, and they were 2x6s and 2x8s and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they used to let you tear them apart on site as long as you cleaned up after yourself.
Yeah.
Well, they had too many people that were breaking down these skids and not cleaning up after themselves. So now they actually pay a guy to go out there with a saw and cut the shit up so it fits in a dumpster and they throw it away.
Oh,
damn.
Or give it away as firewood, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is. But you can't go in there and get the nice big skids and stuff anymore. Because I even asked him, I said, well, I can haul a 16-foot skid. Can I haul them off? I mean, I don't even want to tear them apart here. Just stack them on my trailer and I'll haul them off. And they said, nope, we're not doing that no more.
Wonder why?
Because too many people were going in there because it was open to where you get food after hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say probably 70% of the people would clean up after themselves. You're breaking skids down. You're going to break boards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Clean this stuff up, throw it in the hopper that's right there. Whatever, cleaning the nails up. They had too many people that were going in there and just, busting them apart and leaving messes and
Oh yeah.
and just leaving a mess. And they got tired of going out there every day and cleaning up and everything. So they said no more. And they actually moved it where they store their skids from the outside of the fence to the inside of the fence.
Yeah.
And you can't get to them even during the day, because you have to go through the guard check to get to them, and they won't let you into them. A guy I know, he's not like a really good friend of mine, but he works there. They can't even get them.
That is pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Oh Lordy. Well, y'all, it's after 9 o'clock. I think I'm fixing to shut this thing down for tonight. I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out with us. And
I'm back again.
what happened?
Oh, we got my computer back.
Nah. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming and hang out with us. And
most definitely.
And remember, tomorrow night, Twisted R Racing at between 8 and 9 o'clock Central Time. He'll go live.
Something like that.
And then Saturday is the BS Small Engines. Hopefully, hadn't heard if he's going. Is he going live this weekend or?
I think he's supposed to have his metalworking deal this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I think that's this weekend. So
I remember him saying one weekend he wasn't going to be able to go live, and I couldn't remember if it was this weekend or if it's when it was going to be.
There's a preview of a clip out of the video that I'm working on.
Yeah, getting very close to the front end of a Ford.
That's my 8-man camera on the front of my mower.
Yeah, crazy. And let's see. Sunday afternoon, Stacy goes live again between what is it, 5 and 6 Central?
Yeah, I think so. So
somewhere around about that time.
there's some big news coming on from Stacy here soon. So and they get the challenge out. The challenge videos out too. So
yeah. And then Tuesday night, hopefully Matt will be able to go live this Tuesday night. Just have to wait and see what's going on. He had some issues this past Tuesday and wasn't able to do it, but hopefully he can this coming up Tuesday.
I think there was some YouTube issues.
Yeah. And then Wednesday is Tater at Go Karts Are Gone Fishing live from the Gone Fishing compound. He's every night or every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern.
And he's been in here tonight, but he's hanging brand new shop lights.
Yep.
So.
And he's got a bunch of people over at his house, so he wasn't able to stick around very long. And then back here Thursday night with us.
Heck yeah.
And don't forget Monday nights is kind of a open night. If anybody feels like having a live stream, just put it out there, and we'll all stop in and show you support. Sometimes it's Stacy, sometimes it's Craig. Whoever feels like firing one up,
whoever gets a wild hair.
Yep. If you feel like firing one off, just post it in the small engine box, and we'll all try to get in there and check her out.
That's right. And like I said, appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. And you know how we do it. Fat Man Fabulous. And we'll catch y'all next week.
Yep.